Gen Z, a generation born into screens, flooded by confusion, raised in an era of mental breakdowns, empty identities, and spiritual exhaustion, they scroll endlessly, searching for something they can't explain, pain behind smiles, depression hidden behind emojis, anxiety disguised as jokes, loneliness drowning them in silence, and yet, amidst the chaos, something is calling them, softly, powerfully, unshakably. The voice of truth, the calm of sujud, the clarity of tawhid, the peace of Islam. They find a video of a young Muslim praying, and suddenly their heart feels something real. They hear, Allahu Akbar, not as a threat, but as a release. They read the meaning of, there is no God but Allah, and for the first time, life starts to make sense. No middlemen, no confusion, no identity crisis, just truth. In classrooms across America, teenagers whisper about Islam, not as a fear, but as a mystery, a lifestyle of discipline, peace, and purpose. Influencers who once promoted emptiness are now showing conversions. TikToks of reverts crying in prostration get millions of views. Gen Z is tired of fake happiness. They are tired of meaningless parties. They are tired of chasing trends that disappear in seconds. They are tired of saying, I'm okay, while dying inside. And Islam enters their screen like a beam of light, firm, unchanging, unshakable, eternal. They compare it to what they see around them, a world that keeps changing its truth every week, ideologies that contradict themselves, lifestyles that leave them empty, religions that no longer feel real, sermons that feel commercial, institutions that care more about donations than salvation, and then they hear the Qur'an, unedited, preserved for 1,400 years, recited in a language they do not understand, yet somehow their heart understands. Suddenly the world pauses, tears fall without permission. In campuses, young people hide Qur'ans in their bags, reading verses in secret. They feel something awaken, like they were always meant to read these words. In churches, some young Christians silently ask themselves why their preachers cannot answer their deepest questions. In atheist homes, some Gen Z teens wonder, maybe there is a creator, maybe I wasn't born by accident, maybe my life is more than just hustle, stress, and death. And when they ask Islam, Islam answers, clearly, beautifully, unapologetically. Stories spread rapidly online. A girl who removed her hijab for likes, now wears it again for Allah. A boy who drowned in haram now finds tears streaming in sajda. A former rapper now begins every day with far. These transformations echo through social media, turning into a wave, a movement, a shift, and the West is watching, confused, fascinated, worried, because they thought Gen Z would walk away from God forever, but instead, they are running toward Allah faster than any generation before them. This is not just religious curiosity, this is a revolution of the soul, a generation that lost trust in governments, media, culture, and broken morals, now finds stability in Islam, finds identity in being Muslim, finds healing in dua, finds brotherhood and sisterhood in the Ummah, and as the numbers grow, as mosques fill with young faces, as shahadas echo across American and European cities, the question is no longer, why are they converting? The real question is, how long can the world ignore this unstoppable awakening? And now, as more Gen Z voices rise, declaring their shahada online with trembling lips and flooded eyes, the world begins to listen, some with admiration, some with confusion, some with fear, because this is no longer a fringe trend, it is a global movement, a shift in identity, a rejection of emptiness, a call back to purpose. Young hearts tired of being manipulated by algorithms are now guided by the Quran, tired of chasing validation from strangers. They now seek the pleasure of Allah, tired of drowning in mental storms. They now find calm in, verily, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest. In cafes, young Muslims discuss deen with new converts. In dorm rooms, reverts secretly practice Arabic letters until far. In late-night calls, new Muslims cry to their friends, saying, I finally feel peace. In masjids, the old generation watches with tears as the youth they once feared losing are now leading the way back to faith. And this rise is not random, it is rooted in truth, in the Fitra awakening, in the soul remembering its creator. Meanwhile, mainstream media tries to frame it as a phase. But the tears are real, the prayers are real, the discipline is real, the serenity is real. Because these new Muslims do not just adopt a label, they change their lifestyle, they cut off haram, they protect their modesty, they learn patience through trials, they face backlash from families, mockery from peers, yet they remain firm. because once a heart tastes the sweetness of Iman, it no longer craves the poison of dunya. Gen Z, once labeled as lost, is now becoming the generation of guidance, the generation that challenges stereotypes, that proves Islam is not oppression, but liberation, not backward, but timeless, not foreign, but universal. This generation refuses to inherit the fear of Islam from older narratives. Instead, they study Islam for themselves, they meet real Muslims, they attend Jumu'ah. They feel the unity when voices unite in Salah, and they realize, Islam is not just growing, it is transforming lives. And as conversions hit yearly numbers once thought impossible, as Western cities witness masjids expanding to hold younger crowds, as dawah spreads effortlessly through sincerity, as reverts become advocates of truth, the world begins to whisper, why are the youth choosing Islam? And the answer rises like the adhan at dawn, because in a world of confusion, Islam offers clarity. In a world of loneliness, Islam offers ummah. In a world of anxiety, Islam offers sukun. In a world obsessed with self-love, Islam teaches divine love. In a world chasing temporary highs, Islam leads to eternal peace. And so, the rush toward Islam continues, faster, louder, deeper, a cultural shift, a spiritual awakening, a quiet revolution of faith, led not by politicians or celebrities, but by teenagers praying alone in their rooms, by young adults breaking down in sajda after years of pain, by Gen Z searching for truth, and finding Allah waiting, with mercy wider than their wounds, with forgiveness greater than their past, with a path clearer than their fears. And this is only the beginning. The rise of Gen Z Muslims is not just a trend, it is destiny, unfolding, written long ago, guided by the one who turns hearts, and soon, the world will witness how a lost generation became the ummah's greatest comeback.